Everybody, how you doing? This is Module 5 class toolbox discussion, so let's get right to it. Specifically, I would say thinking outside of the box, rolling with resistance, and double-sided reflection in addition to all of the motivational interviewing. So much was really good for me in this module. So with thinking out of the box, I felt like um, it was really interesting how in our reading examples they uh, did deeper research into the past of one of the clients to see connect the dots to why she was behaving a certain way, and it makes you not it keeps you from taking your client at face value in your first impression isn't just what they present immediately. You can kind of see below the surface. And so I think, as with Dolores, we heard uh, reports from other social workers about how terrible she was as a client and all this. And when we look at her, she opens the door, she's in a dirty robe, the house is dirty. However, she responded politely and she was kind and welcoming. So once we find more about her background, then we kind of get an understanding. And it's the same for like my role play and the client that I'm working with in the field. Knowing the background of the family really helps me to be able to think out of the box and develop strategies to to work with them more efficiently. Also, rolling with resistance. With one client um, I have to be very patient, and I have to make sure that I roll with resistance. And as our text says, you never argue with a resistant client, because that just gets you more resistance. They dig in their heels even deeper. So with rolling with resistance, you just kind of acknowledge and validate their feeling and their opinion, and then also um, implement the double-sided reflection, where you can help the client to be able to see, like, okay, I see that you may be in disagreement, or you feel like uh, this is the direction you want to go, and you, after we're done, you may continue to go that way. That's going to be your choice. And most of the time, uh, rolling with resistance and the double-sided reflection is going to bring the client to a place where they kind of sit back and see their responsibility in it, and then you may even get more cooperation. So I feel like with the motivational interviewing and opening the questions, like the uh, the stages of change, all, all of these different things that we entertain in the work phase with the client takes us from just the basic introduction of the client to actually sitting back and allow uh, allowing the client to give us the information that we need, so that we can develop an intervention. We can develop things for them to do that's going to actually help them be able to facilitate change. I feel like um, knowing the stages are of change is a very, very crucial point in this middle and work phase, because if you misjudge the stage of change that your client is in, you may either move too fast for them by misjudging that stage, and it might put more work on our plate as therapists and as social workers. I would say the most challenging would be identifying the stages, at least now, identifying the stages of change that my client is in. Number one, because I've really never entertained that. I didn't have that knowledge before. But I feel like, that will take practice, being patient enough to learn about the client, to identify the stage of change that they're in, before I just rush, into trying to save the day. Um, So I think that may pose a little challenge, but I feel like the more I learn and the more experience I get, it'll be great. I think the skill that was most natural and most fluid for me is use of metaphors. Um, I'm a songwriter. I produce music. Um, so seeing pictures, analogies, metaphors, being able to find different ways to communicate comes very natural for me. So in sessions with clients, it's very natural and fluid for me to be able to uh, catch their metaphors and then also present a metaphor that I know will stick with them and they'll really get the message. Uh, okay, that's all the questions. Thank you. Look forward to your comments.